Popcorn is often marketed as a light snack, the kind of food you reach for during a movie, a cozy night in, or a midday craving. It's crunchy, fun to eat, easy to prepare, and seemingly harmless. But what if you have diabetes? What really happens inside your body after just one bite of popcorn? The answer may surprise you. Before we continue, I'd like to tell you about Diacelan, a powerful blend of 13 natural ingredients, each carefully selected for their proven ability to support healthy blood sugar levels, enhance insulin sensitivity, and promote overall wellness. You can read more on diacelan.com. While it might not feel like you're indulging in anything serious, popcorn initiates a biological chain reaction that affects blood sugar, insulin, digestion, and more. Today, we'll explore that journey in detail, from the moment popcorn hits your tongue, through your digestive system, into your bloodstream, and beyond. We'll also discuss whether popcorn can be a safe, balanced part of a diabetic diet, or if it poses more risks than rewards. This isn't about fear, it's about understanding, awareness, and smarter choices. To begin, let's unpack what popcorn actually is. Despite being associated with junk food in many cases, especially at theaters or amusement parks, popcorn is technically a whole grain. It's made from a specific variety of corn called Z. maize averta, which is unique in that it explodes under high heat due to moisture trapped inside its hard outer shell. When heated, the water inside each kernel turns to steam and builds pressure until the kernel bursts open, expanding into the fluffy shape we recognize. This transformation makes popcorn feel light, but nutritionally, it's still dense in carbohydrates, the macronutrient that most directly impacts blood sugar. In its purest form, air-popped with no butter, oil, or additives, popcorn contains complex carbohydrates and fiber. However, the second you start adding toppings like butter, caramel, or cheese, that balance shifts. These additives bring in sugars, fats, and sodium, turning a simple snack into a blood sugar spike trap, especially for those with diabetes. Now let's walk through what happens the moment you take a bite. The popcorn crunches between your teeth, and already digestion is underway. Saliva contains enzymes, particularly salivary amylase, that begin breaking down complex carbohydrates into simpler sugars. Even as you chew, these starches are chemically transforming. Once swallowed, popcorn travels to the stomach, where digestion continues. But the real action happens in the small intestine, where enzymes complete the breakdown of starch into glucose, the sugar that enters your bloodstream and fuels your cells. For someone without diabetes, the pancreas responds by releasing insulin, which helps shuttle that glucose into cells to be used for energy. But if you have diabetes, especially type 2, this system is disrupted. Either your body isn't producing enough insulin or your cells aren't responding to it properly, a condition called insulin resistance. This causes glucose to build up in the blood, leading to spikes that can be dangerous if unmanaged. Even a moderate portion of popcorn can trigger this process, particularly if eaten on its own without protein or fat to slow absorption. It's important to talk about glycemic index, GI, and glycemic load, GL, two essential concepts for anyone managing diabetes. The GI of a food refers to how quickly it raises blood sugar levels. Popcorn has a moderate GI, around 55, which is lower than white bread or sugary cereals, but higher than foods like leafy greens or legumes. However, glycemic load is even more telling as it considers portion size. A small serving of plain popcorn, about 3 cups, has a relatively low glycemic load containing roughly 15 grams of carbs. But in reality, most people don't eat just 3 cups. One movie theater-sized popcorn can contain over 100 grams of carbohydrates, especially if it's buttered or caramel-coated. That's several times more than what most people with diabetes should consume in a single sitting. And remember, carbs equal glucose, which equals elevated blood sugar. So the real danger lies not just in the type of popcorn, but in the amount you eat without realizing it. Within 30 minutes to an hour after eating popcorn, blood sugar levels begin to rise. In a healthy person, the pancreas releases insulin almost immediately, and glucose levels return to normal within a couple of hours. But for someone with diabetes, that return to baseline is often delayed. The longer glucose remains in your bloodstream, the more damage it can do to blood vessels, nerves, organs, and more. Sustained high blood sugar, even from snacks like popcorn, contributes to complications like neuropathy, kidney damage, and vision problems. What's more, the added fats, like hydrogenated oils used in microwave popcorn, can increase insulin resistance over time, making your condition harder to manage. The body becomes less responsive to insulin, and glucose control slips further out of balance. Plus, salty popcorn contributes to high blood pressure, another major risk factor for diabetics. All this from what started as a simple snack. Let's not ignore the role of portion distortion. When was the last time you actually measured out 3 cups of popcorn? Most people pour straight from the bag or bowl, and before they know it, they've eaten 5 to 10 cups or more. That's not only a significant load of carbohydrates, it's also a psychological trap. Popcorn is what we call a low satiety food. It's airy and doesn't fill you up quickly, so your body doesn't send strong signals to stop eating. Combine this with the saltiness, crunch, and the social context in which popcorn is eaten, like while watching TV or chatting, and you've got a recipe for accidental overconsumption. And for someone with diabetes, that means multiple hours of elevated blood sugar, followed by possible fatigue, mood swings, and even sugar cravings due to insulin fluctuations. Different types of popcorn affect your body in different ways. Air-popped popcorn is the cleanest option. No added oils, no sugars, and high in fiber. But the story changes with microwave popcorn, which often contains palm oil, trans fats, and artificial flavors. These not only affect your insulin sensitivity, but also increase systemic inflammation, which further complicates blood sugar control. Then there's caramel popcorn and cheddar-flavored varieties, which can be loaded with hidden sugars and highly processed fats, essentially turning popcorn into candy. Eating these regularly doesn't just spike your blood sugar. It creates a feedback loop of poor nutrition, insulin resistance, and even weight gain, all of which are red flags for anyone managing diabetes. But let's zoom in on one of the redeeming qualities of popcorn: fiber. When eaten in its plainest form, popcorn contains a decent amount of dietary fiber, both insoluble and soluble. Fiber slows the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates, helping to prevent sudden spikes in blood sugar. It also supports gut health, digestion, and helps you feel full. In a standard 3-cup serving, you get about 3.5 grams of fiber, which is actually quite good compared to other snack foods. When combined with protein, such as a handful of nuts or a boiled egg, this fiber can help flatten your post-snack blood sugar curve, making it a better choice. But again, this only applies when the popcorn is plain, measured, and eaten with awareness. For those taking insulin, popcorn requires careful consideration. You need to accurately estimate the carbohydrate content to adjust your insulin dose. Misjudging carbs can throw off your entire glycemic control. Take too little insulin, and your blood sugar spikes. Take too much, and you could experience a dangerous blood sugar crash. Hypoglycemia. Symptoms like sweating, shaking, dizziness, and confusion can occur quickly. This is why it's essential to test your blood glucose before and after eating popcorn, especially if it's part of your regular snack rotation. Over time, you'll begin to see patterns: how your body responds to different popcorn types, portion sizes, and combinations with other foods. These insights are golden for managing diabetes successfully. People with type 1 diabetes must be particularly cautious. Since their insulin needs are constant and require manual adjustment, any miscalculation can lead to serious consequences. Popcorn's effects are sometimes delayed, meaning blood sugar might not spike immediately, which can make timing your insulin more difficult. Continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, help in these situations by showing trends in real time. You may notice a rise in glucose an hour or two after eating, not right away. This is why many people with type 1 diabetes prefer to pair popcorn with a fat or protein source and give a split bolus of insulin, some up front and some delayed, to manage the gradual glucose release more effectively. So what's the verdict? Can you enjoy popcorn if you have diabetes? The answer is a qualified yes. Plain, air-popped popcorn, eaten in small, measured amounts, and ideally paired with protein or fat, can be part of a healthy diabetes-friendly diet. It has fiber, it's relatively low in calories, and its moderate GI means it won't cause the kind of sharp spikes you get from white bread or soda. But the moment you exceed your portion size or eat flavored varieties high in sugar or fat, you enter risky territory. The key isn't just moderation, it's intentionality. Know what you're eating, why you're eating it, and how your body responds. And finally, let's address the emotional and behavioral aspects. Popcorn is a snack that's often eaten mindlessly, in front of a screen, during social events, or while multitasking. This makes it easy to overeat without realizing it. Practicing mindful eating is your best defense. Portion your popcorn into a small bowl. Eat it slowly, savor each bite, and stop when you're full. Drink water to aid digestion and keep your hands busy so you're not reaching for handful after handful. Even simple habits like brushing your teeth after snacking or chewing gum can signal your brain that the eating session is over. Over time, these small behavior shifts can dramatically improve your blood sugar control and overall health. So what can we ultimately take away from all of this? The truth is, popcorn is more complex than it looks, especially when you're managing a condition like diabetes. On the surface, it may seem like a harmless, even healthy snack. After all, it's low in calories, it's a whole grain, and it's high in fiber. But just beneath that fluffy exterior lies a carbohydrate-rich food that can significantly influence your blood sugar, not just in the minutes after eating, but for hours. The impact depends on a wide range of factors: how the popcorn was prepared, what additives it contains, how much you eat, when you eat it, whether you're pairing it with other foods, and most importantly, how your individual body responds. And that's the key message here. Diabetes is not one size fits all. Everyone's body is unique. Some people with diabetes may be able to enjoy a moderate amount of air-popped popcorn with little to no noticeable blood sugar change. Others may experience a sharp rise, even from a small portion. Your insulin sensitivity, activity level, stress, hydration, and even how much sleep you got last night. All of these can change how your body processes something as simple as a snack. Food is not just about nutrition. It's about connection, comfort, memories, and enjoyment. And living with diabetes doesn't mean you have to eliminate all joy from your eating. In many ways, managing diabetes can lead to a deeper, healthier relationship with what you eat if you embrace it with the right mindset. So whether popcorn ends up being an occasional treat, a go-to snack, or a food you choose to limit, make that decision from a place of knowledge and self-respect, not fear. Don't forget the importance of support. Diabetes management isn't something you need to do alone. Talk to your doctor, your diabetes educator, or a registered dietitian who can help tailor your diet to your needs. Use technology, from apps to glucose monitors, to track your patterns and make data-driven choices. And engage with communities, online or offline, where people share their own experiences with foods like popcorn and more. There's strength in shared knowledge, and you might be surprised how many others are asking the exact same questions you are right now. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of this deep dive. If you found this video helpful, insightful, or empowering, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more content that supports healthy, informed living with diabetes. And now I'd love to hear from you. Do you eat popcorn? How does it affect your blood sugar? Have you found tricks or alternatives that work better for you? Drop your experiences in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Until next time, stay curious, stay proactive, and above all, stay kind to yourself. Every small decision matters, and every bite is a step in your journey. Make it count.